Okay, so now that we have successfully applied our strain gauge, we want to make sure that it is in fact working properly. So the first thing we want to do is do a continuity check to see what resistance we're getting over the gauge and compare that to our expectation. So we've got a handheld multimeter. Again, we're not worried exactly about the value, but looking more for continuity that we have a resistance. So we're getting a value of 120.9 across our strain gauge. Typically strain gauges are on the order of 120 ohms. If we check the manufacturer's data package, we can see that the resistance is 120 ohms. Now you'll notice we're not exactly at that value, but we have resistance from our lead wires as well as the resistance of our connecting wires. That is the exact reason why we're going to use the 3-wire bridge setup, so that we can compensate for the lead wire resistance. Our beam is mounted in our flexure device such that we have a dimple on the edge of this portion of the beam, which is a set distance away from the gauge itself. We can apply a load at this position, and then we can induce a strain from this bending moment.
Okay, so I also need to collect some information regarding the beam itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is measure the distance between the center of the strain gauge and the dimple from which we're going to load up the beam using the hanger. I've measured that using the ruler, and that gives me 9 3/4 inches, and I've estimated my parallax error to be a 1/16 of an inch. I've also measured the width of the beam using these digital calipers, and that was approximately 1 inch, and I've measured the thickness to be approximately 1/8 of an inch. The other thing I need to do is select the weights that I'm going to use to load up the beam. So because we don't know the exact aluminium alloy that we're dealing with here, we've chosen a conservative estimate for our yielding stress of 10,000 psi. So I've selected weights according to that, and I'm also just going to go and verify that I've got the exact weights that I need for that using the digital scales.